Yes, so the person we're going to interview today is Ritika Kothari. Ritika is a friend of mine and she works for the Mediamarkt as the DPO. She studied international law and she shows me how by thinking in the short term or by thinking in the long term and sacrificing in the short term, you can achieve your goals. And that's something that really interests me. And she also shows me how motivation and discipline can be created and doesn't have to be there from the beginning. So that's something that's really interesting. Without further ado, let's go to the interview. Ritika,
Yes,
thank you for being here today.
happy to be here.
We're gonna dive straight into the first question.
Okay.
What satisfies you in life?
Oh, that's a good question. I think spending quality time with my friends, my family, doing my work. I really enjoy working, traveling, listening to music, the same old. Yeah, the smaller things in life.
Besides bad things in life, there are also, or besides good things in life, there are also bad moments.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with setbacks?
So I have a strong support system, both professionally and personally. So I have a set of very close friends who I can call any time of the day or night. And when it comes to work, I have a really good team and a very understanding manager. So if I have frustrations at work or if I'm not up to the mark, then I can just go to my manager. So I've got very good support systems.
Oh, great to hear, great to hear. And what is one thing you would like to have known at age 23?
I think one of the things that I would have wanted to follow a bit more is to actually really live in the moment and enjoy the moment and not worry about the future or not want to grow up because those are the moments that I at this age now look back to and I cherish those moments. So I think living in the present, in the now is very important.
And what exactly do you cherish about the time when you were 23 because you're now a bit older?
Yes, what I cherished was, I didn't have bills to pay. I didn't have the responsibilities that I have now. You're a bit more carefree, you're learning, you're at your peak when it comes to learning as well. So it's also the time where you should aim to learn as much as possible. Mm-hmm. You're young, you're wild, you're free. So.
Wow. Oh wait, I want to discuss more, but we don't have a lot of time.
That's no problem. We can always discuss it later.
Now a bit more serious question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel being a woman and how does it affect you in your career? Or work?
Yeah, so it's, there's two sides to it, There's, you do still notice a lack of equal treatment, especially when it comes to salary or promotions. Mm-hmm. And of course, some companies are doing it better than others, but I do think there's still a lot of room for improvement, and I do think that we are heading in that direction. So hopefully soon there is more equal rights towards women.
And what is something that everyone can do, whether being a man or a woman? What can everybody do to contribute?
I think an important thing is to unlearn a lot of the things that we've learned growing up, because there are a lot of things that we've been wired with or brainwashed with, which we just follow blindly, but we don't really realize or understand the root of it. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that, along with a little bit of a switch in mindset, I think that will really go a long way.
All right. And what professional skills will be essential in the coming decade?
I think it's really important to have soft skills, like leadership skills, learning how to navigate interpersonal skills, learning how to navigate with people, because at the end of the day, the work that you do, you'll be good at it, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But managing people, dealing with people, all kinds of different people, that is where a lot of people sometimes miss out on a promotion or miss out on good work, or it's mainly the people often in companies check whether you fit the vibe, and the work you can always learn, but you can't learn certain interpersonal skills, certain interactive skills. So I think that is something that is already a big thing now as well, but will also keep getting important in the long run. And of course, you also have things like AI technology. You want to evolve with technology, so it's also important to know how to work with technology and not have it replace you. You know, so I think that's something that's also coming up in the next decade.
That's really a good answer. I have one more question you don't know this.
Okay.
And the question was, you first worked at Amazon.
Yes.
And I remember you from that time. You weren't really happy in that work.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
you're now very happy in your current job.
Absolutely.
And that is something that actually really inspires me. That you actually made a switch in quite a short period of time.
Yeah.
And how did it all take place? Because that's something that really interests me.
Okay, so I worked at Amazon for about 2 years. The thing was that when I joined, I knew that the work that I'm going to be doing, it's that I'm a little overqualified for it. But at that time, the hiring manager, I spoke to them and I told them, listen, I'm overqualified for the work that you're going to give me, but having Amazon on my CV was a very good thing. And it worked out towards the end, which I'll come to in a minute. So I mentioned, during my interviews that, hey, listen, I'm overqualified, but I expect to be promoted soon into something that I am qualified for. And things change, people leave. My hiring manager left the company the first day that I joined. And in my 2 years' time, I was on 8 managers. So, every time I had the same conversation, but I didn't see much progress. So I decided that, okay, 1 or 2 years for Amazon to be on my CV is a good thing. And then I need to switch to something that I am, capable of, because I wanted something more challenging. Because you want your work to be interesting, you want to learn from it. You don't want it to be boring. So luckily, the current job where I work at, which is MediaMarkt, the recruiter got in touch with me at the time that I wanted to leave Amazon. So it was perfect in terms of timing. And then I did like 4 or 5 interviews with MediaMarkt, and then I was hired. So that was the switch.
And what do you aspire? Would you see yourself in 10 years still at MediaMarkt?
No, I don't think so, because you do, for me, for the role that I do, there is no, I can't really get promoted in my field because I am pretty much at the top I'm the data protection officer, so I could maybe become like head of legal or, go to like a board position, but there's no realistic promotional aspect to my current role. So I don't see myself at MediaMarkt in 10 years. I will probably be at a different company, maybe even, from the other side, so not from a company side, but more from like the authorities side. But basically something that will challenge me and that will keep me growing.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I really like that answer. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. And,
thank you.
I hope we learned something.
Absolutely.
So to conclude the interview, I think Ritika really shows a lot. And I think she especially shows the SMART goal setting method, as she shows that during her time at Amazon, she didn't really feel the progress she set out for herself in terms of promotion. So she moved to another company. And I think that's really an element of SMART that, it's time-based, it's measurable. She saw that there was not really substance coming from the board, so she decided to switch it up. And I think that's really typical of a SMART goal. What she influences really to think on the long term, to focus not only on the hard skills, as she said, but also on the soft skills, in which I definitely can improve. So I think for the long term, I will keep myself to the Kaizen method and improve in short incremental steps. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching.